come in. What? I was kind of hoping more people would trickle in, so I was just letting it go. You're all good. All right. Welcome, everybody. My name is Danny Everhart. I am the Senior Solutions Engineer for Splunk Cisco. I cover the Navy and a couple other things within the DoD. Today we're going to do a talk on mission assurance in the age of disruption, a data-driven approach. And we're going to be discussing C2C, or Comply to Connect. Now, Comply to Connect. We've all probably heard it, just like Zero Trust. But what does it mean? Well, when we have DISA come up with it, and I took this straight from the DISA website, it's very confusing. Who else here thinks most of the government things written is confusing? So what I like to do is I like to take that and put it into ChatGPT or Google Gemini, and try to figure out the best way that I can understand it and then explain it to my customers, right? So Google AI gave us is a Department of Defense cybersecurity mandate and program that aims to ensure all devices connecting to the DoD information network meet stringent security standards. ChatGPT kind of gave us a similar one, and then what I do is I put all three of them into ChatGPT and say, summarize it for me. And that came up with cybersecurity framework and mandate that orchestrates a suite of tools and technologies across the network and infrastructure to discover, identify, and assess all devices attempting to connect. That's understandable. That last sentence is key, right? And I get it. So after all that, I'm like, okay, cool. Now I totally can explain it to people, what it means and how I can sell it. So how are Splunk and Cisco shaping the future of C2C? Well, that's a great idea. How are we doing it? Well, we're using ICE as a foundation of the Comply to Connect and Zero Trust. ICE is a leader, obviously, in all that device management, and Splunk being the leader in SIEM and everything data makes a perfect partnership, and seeing how we're one team now, it's even better. So as you can see here, everything of the way it connects, we have endpoints of users, devices, and things, switches, WLCs, and VPNs, all going into Cisco ICE, along with the identity services and security services at the other end. So we're going to take all that data and then we're going to bring it into Splunk, and we're going to make it look pretty so everybody from a junior enlisted to a 4-star general can understand what's going on in your environment with C2C. So how does that look like? This is just a very simple chart of how it works. We have everything on the bottom coming up into the Splunk platform from ICE and Catalyst Campus going into our Splunk Enterprise Security and our regular Splunk platform, which then also then can pivot into our automated tool SOAR, which then can give you executables and playbooks so that you don't have to be doing actions when things come up. All right, so with C2C, our app that is currently deployed at the Navy Warfare Center in Dahlgren as our pilot program, and they are having great success and meeting all of their C2C requirements. This is what they're looking at on a daily basis. So this is called our master endpoint record. This view shows the details of each of these attributes for every system that has been discovered. So everything coming in from ICE, Catalyst Campus, all that kind of stuff, it's coming in. And this is kind of a big page. It'll be a couple slides, but you'll actually be able to understand it here in just a second. We break it down. So as we zoom in, we can see it gives us the MAC address, the record ID, the Cybercom category, so if it's Cybercom workstation and servers and so on. We can see the manufacturer of it, so Red Hat, Intel, corporate, all that kind of stuff. System model, workstation, and we can see the matched policy that it's required for C2C. And then also we can see the username that's logging into each of these systems throughout the day. And that's exactly what Comply to Connect is, right? And we can also see the DNS server name and the first time it was seen. So the first time it's seen, and then we'll continue on and it'll go the last time it was seen as well. So again, there's a couple slides. So now all I'm doing is scrolling to the right, and I want to make sure everybody can see it. So that's why we're going through it kind of slow. And now as we keep going, we can see the match policy, the username like we said, the first scene, and we'll keep going, which is really important, especially with the C2C mandates. The last scene, we'll see the first scene, the last scene, and then coming up we'll also see the ACAS, when it was seen in ACAS, and also the IP4 address. And we'll also see the CERT certifier here in just a second, which is really important, especially when it comes to the C2C, right? We need to know who issued the cert and where it's sitting. So we can see here it's a CNR, or CN root CA, and then the issuer was root again. So these are all key points in Splunk, or in your C2C, that we're bringing out of ICE into Splunk to make it visualized for you guys. Our next dashboard is our C2C overview. And with that, we'll have our main dashboard, which we'll zoom in here in just a second. But this is the C2C authentication by location. So you'll see highlighted areas of where you're seeing your most logins. So we can see it right now for this demo environment. A lot of them are logging in into that Las Vegas area and a little bit of Colorado. Again, this is all just coming in from ICE and Catalyst Campus. As we come over here, we can see now our top priorities here, which is our cyber category distribution. So we can see the Cybercom, all those things. Authentication by protocol, so each protocol that's top in your environment. Our posture OS by type, so Windows, Red Hat, Ubuntu. And we can also see network device types. So it breaks it down there. The great thing about this is when C2C is available and you're able to download it into your Splunk environment, you don't have to make any of this. You don't have to write the SPL to come up with it. You don't have to write the dashboards. This is all there for you within the app. As long as that ICE data is coming in, which if you have Splunk and ICE, getting that data in is very easy. These will populate automatically for you guys. Now our next dashboard is a fun one. It's our endpoint compliance. With endpoint compliance, we really care about all these big boxes up here. We can see who's in compliance, how many are out of compliance, if there's anything that falls into the malware or USB recognition as well. And then over here on the right, we can also see the compliance summary. So if something's not compliant, it will tell you what it failed. So as you can see here, we can see that it failed the posture and the C2C cert. So that's something that as an operator you need to start looking into, see why it's not compliant, push it. And then also this comes into our next topic of our SOAR product. If you have SOAR as well and you get this non-compliant, you can automatically kick off a playbook that then would make it compliant, that would push that new cert for you so you're not having to do anything. Your brand new private that doesn't know your environment isn't going to have to then go learn how to push a cert to that specific server. It's going to do it for you. As we keep going, now we're in our network compliance, which now we can see this is all coming from our Catalyst campus, our Catalyst Center. Non-compliant total, we can see there's 12, we can see there's 15, and it breaks it down again, what is non-compliant and why. So compliance status non-compliant, the critical security advisory is non-compliant. So now you know exactly what you have to do to get it compliant. You're not looking and going, okay, why did it fail? Why isn't this working? What made it non-compliant? Bringing all that data in from Catalyst and ICE will give you everything that you need to know in that environment. And we can come down here at the bottom too, and we can see our network device inventory. We give the device name, IP, the serial number, the location, the network license, software license, number of users, and the uptime. Number of users is really key, especially if it's a heavy box and then all of a sudden you're not seeing anybody on there. Might want to start looking into that as well. Or it's one that you only usually have 3 or 4 people on there. Why do you have 225 people logged into that area? Might want to look into it. Now this is what really sets us apart from everyone else. There's a lot of competitors out there that say, hey, we can do all steps that are required for C2C. Usually not the truth. We can get you right now up to step 4. We're working on step 5. Step 5 is a little bit harder because that's your automation. That's not up to us. We have the product that can do it for you. You just have to then buy it and it would work for you. So step 1 is discover, identify, or identification categorization. I'm not going to read you the entire slide because no one likes being in a brief that reads slides. So it's there for you, and most of you, if you're involved in C2C, you probably know each step. But how do we do this? So we bring that in, we bring all the data in from everything that I just showed you, and we break it off into reports for step 1. We can see here it's C2C reporting, US Cybercom device category, and operations summary. Well, the great thing is when you need to do these steps, you need to be sending these off to your chain of command or DISA or whoever's requiring it to see those reports. And we make it easy for you. We want this to be your one-stop shop to make C2C effective for you. So all you have to do is come right over here to this little down arrow on this page, click it, and it's going to download it as a report in PDF format for you so you can upload it to anybody that needs it. You can also make this a scheduled report because Splunk is awesome and likes to automate everything for you guys so that then you can set up this to download every day at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Send it on up to whoever needs it or whatever you need to have it emailed to. You can schedule it like that. But we want to make this easy for you and make it the best product that you guys can use. Step number 2 is integration. The ability to segregate devices prior to full network connection, verify security compliance, and periodically revalidate configuration of endpoints concurrently connected to the environment. So again, brings you go to that step in that drop down, step 2, and it will show you all the step 2 reports. And all you have to do is right click on one and you can download that specific report, send it off, have it for you, whatever you need. It's all right there. Again, the greatest thing about this, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to know Splunk to use this product. So if you're already using ICE and you want to be able to use it for C2C, Splunk would help it, and you don't even have to know how to do it. Step 3 is automatic remediation. Again, not going to read all of it. Automatically validate the STIG compliances. That's the main one. Splunk does a great job on helping you keep up with your STIG compliances, and we can have another conversation about that if you want to, and it's one of my favorite ones to have. So again, you click on step 3, it's going to bring you to another dashboard. If you can't tell, Splunk loves dashboards. That's what we do. We visualize that data to make sure that you can use it to the best of your ability. So within step 3, we remediation by requirements. We can see which ones need to be remediated. These are your 2 troublemakers. This is what's setting off alerts. This is what you need to fix. And we can see here that this one remediation worked, but this one tried to push the remediation for certification and just kept failing. So there's something wrong. That's probably a pretty easy fix for a user, just to go in and push the certification manually, but it's all right there, shows you. And again, you can see the little arrow in the corner there. You can download this, send it out as an email, whatever you need to keep this up to date for you. And step number 4, authorized connection. You know, integration with ICAM, quarantine, non-compliant devices, and so on. And it brings you to another report that looks a lot like our first one, pages that I was showing you. But it gives it a little bit more detail so we can see the MAC address, which C2C part it's part of, and everything else that you can imagine that you need. With this, again, you can export it, you can create an alert, create an email, everything right there. With that, this is kind of the final slide of how we see that Cisco ICE is working. So we can see the endpoint categories, the user, mobile devices, IoT endpoints, work servers, network infrastructure. It's getting pushed all into our C2C and Zero Trust PEPs, so all your servers, routers, all that kind of stuff. It's going to go into our C2C, IT Ops, and SecOps Zero Trust, Cisco ICE, and then it's going to push it into Splunk where we'll automatically have your dashboards and reporting already created for you as soon as this app is deployed. With that, I wanted to leave the last 10 minutes up to conversation. if you had questions about what Splunk's doing with C2C or how we can help you with that, or ICE questions and integrations. I'd love to, there's a microphone they pointed out right here to me. You guys can come on up. And with that, that is my email address. I monitor that 24/7. So if you have Splunk questions, C2C questions, how do I get Splunk? How do I use Splunk? That's what I'm here for. And if it's a specific question about buying, I'll point you to the amazing Mark in the back who would help you buy Splunk if you needed it as well. So with that, who has a question? Awesome. Is anybody doing C2C right now? Awesome. Where are you at? Okay. All right. Are you currently using Splunk for that?
We are using ICE.
Okay.
I don't think we have a full integration with Splunk.
Okay. Perfect. Seems like you probably should.
We have Splunk.
Good. Okay. Well, if you already have Splunk, then that's super easy. Who do you support?
Cisco.
Oh, are you at Pearl Harbor?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. You guys are having an audit this week, aren't you?
They got postponed.
Oh, we got to call Angel then.
Oh.
We talk to Angel a lot.
It'll be end of January. Oh, okay.
So I'm your engineer for shipyards. So I cover all shipyards and warfare centers for NAVSEA. So I'm your engineer. So yes, we are, Mark and I are actively working to try to get you guys this whole program. So
Okay.
awesome. It's good to see you here. Anybody else? Anything?
You mentioned step 5 that you guys are working on?
Yeah, that's in the future. We just haven't gotten there yet. I don't know when that future is. I'd like it to be now, but I'm just happy that at least we get the first 4.
I think for step 5, we're waiting more for DISA to give us the specifics on what they want for that step 5.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Cool. All right, well, thank you. I'll hang around if you want to come up and talk, questions about Splunk or anything. And if you don't, we also have a booth downstairs. And the lovely Joey in the back will hand out some flyers for our Cisco happy hour tonight. You are more than welcome to come and grab a drink with us, talk more C2C or anything Splunk with me, because I love doing that. So have a great day, and thank you guys for coming.